Hey everyone, my name is Danny Marcel, and for my presentation, I have decided to focus on one of my favorite plays, which is A Raisin in the Sun. I decided to focus on a particular theme throughout the play. There are many themes in A Raisin in the Sun. The most obvious and the most prevalent, in my opinion, is the theme of hopes and dreams. Having hopes and dreams, as well as the inability to reach those hopes and dreams, greatly affects all of the characters in the play. For this presentation, I'm going to specifically focus on Mama and her children Benita and Walter. To start out, Mama is incredibly devoted to her children and her family. She wants them to live a good life and to be able to live to their potential. She dreams of having her own house as well as a garden. Those are dreams she had when her husband was still alive. Throughout the play, Mama's plant serves as a very important symbol. In the first scene, Mama has two important quotes that reflects upon both her plant and her children. Mama is quoted as saying the following: Mama, looking at her plant and sprinkling a little water on it. They spared it all right, my children. Got to admit they got spirit, Benny and Walter. Like this little old plant that ain't never had enough sunshine or nothing. And look at it. Mama also says, well, I always wanted me a garden. I used to see sometimes at the back of the houses down home. This plant is as close as I ever got to having one. As things stood at this point in the play, Mama's plant was as close as she was ever going to get to having a garden, just as her children were as close as they were ever going to get to reaching their own dreams, which was not very close at all. Mama knows that if her plant, as well as her children, had better soil, they would be able to flourish. But even without the proper resources, their mama still keeps hope in both their plant and children, and her children still have hope for the future. Moving on to Walter. Walter dreams of being able to provide a good life for his family, a life that he feels that they deserve. His inability to reach those dreams greatly affects his character and makes him a pain to live with. Walter is frustrated with having to work for the man, and he wants to be his own boss. He eventually sees an opportunity to reach his dreams and provide a life for his family, but that further delays the hopes and dreams of everyone else in the family. Benita dreams of being able to go to college and further her education. She wants to become a doctor. She has dreams that are not the typical dreams of an African American woman at that time, but she is also not the typical African American woman at that time. Building upon the theme of hope and dreams is how those hopes and dreams were deferred because of money. Throughout much of the play, the dreams of the younger family all seemed unreachable because of the lack of money. Benita was unable to go to college, Mama was unable to afford a house, and Walter had to work to support his family and was unable to make enough money to provide the life he wanted to. But eventually there was hope for better times. As you all know, the Younger family received a $10,000 check. That check seemed like it would help everyone reach their own goals. Mama had the best plan for the money, a plan that would likely help everyone be able to achieve their own dreams. She would have money for her house, and there would be money for Walter's investment into his liquor store, as well as money for Benita's college education. But Walter's greed of reaching his own dream ruined the hopes for everyone else. He ended up taking the money that his mama gave him and invested it all into the liquor store, leaving nothing for Benita. So once again, the role of money deferred Benita's dream. Um, Walter being able to get closer to his dream showed us how someone reaching their dream can change the type of person they are. He became a joy to live with. He became a better husband, better father, a better brother, and a better son. However, those times were short-lived. After all the money was lost, Walter went back to being the person that he was before, probably even worse. And once again, the lack of money would defer everyone's dream. There was there was still hope for one dream, which was Mama's dream of having her own house and her own garden. But Walter, still being the greedy person that he was, wanted to benefit from uh, the house being in a white neighborhood and a man wanting to buy their own house. He wanted to take the money that they were offered for the house and use it for another investment. And in one of my favorite character developments of any play, Walter eventually pushes aside his greed for money and puts the dreams of his mother ahead of his own. Probably the most important dream for the family. The younger family would eventually get their own house. Mama was able to get her house and had a backyard where she could have her own garden. As the play ends, Mama reaches back to grab her plant to be able to take their new house to their new house. In the end, both the plant and Mama's children had not reached their potential, but they were in better soil, and there was renewed hope for the future. While not everyone was able to reach their dream, they were able to become a tighter family, and they still had hope for the future.